Hey, my cheesy fam, it's me, CaseyQuesadilla again. So I'm not feeling super great today, so I am recording this in my office where I work. Um, so yeah, anyways, um, I did want to talk about something. Um, I know that a lot of the times that I talk about the Penny for Your Thoughts campaign, it's because I've been super positive and stuff like that. There's a part of me that knows exactly why I wanted to boast this now, um, boost this campaign, and that's because I think if people are exposed to this kind of thing, children are exposed to this kind of thing when they're young, they'll understand that anything that they go through is just people being affected by negativity all around them. And for that to happen, I do need to be more vulnerable to you guys. So I did talk about how I was depressed and how that affected me through school and stuff like that. And I talked about that a lot. What I didn't talk to you guys about is that when I was bullied a lot in school, instead of going to a teacher, finding a friend, because I didn't have many friends in middle school and elementary school and stuff like that. I didn't meet Sandra till I was, I think, in 7th grade, and that's when the peak of the bullying really happened because I got an awful haircut. And so I had one friend, but he saw me through this change, thankfully. So, and stuff like that. But when I was getting bullied very heavily, instead of finding a way, an outlet or anything like that, or finding someone to help me, because I didn't know they had those kind of things available to us. All they really talked about when I was in school is that bullying is wrong, which I knew from the get-go was wrong. They talked about how, you never know what someone's going through and stuff like that. So, like, things of that nature is all they really talked about. They didn't talk about you should find a teacher, you should find someone to confide in, and stuff like that. Not that I remember, at least. They may have, and I may have just been in my own world. But that oftentimes does happen. And a really good example of that is, it's a real old movie. 2008, I think it was, is when it came out. Meet the Robinsons. If you haven't seen it, it's a Disney movie. I think it's a Disney movie. I recommend it. It shows how, and this is a really good thing to watch if you're going to be participating in this campaign. It shows how one's negative thoughts are the biggest thing that closes everybody else out, and it's always really sad to watch. I cry tremendously when I watch it because it's really sad. And so anyways, let's see what else. So what I really wanted to tell you guys is that when I was being picked on, I didn't handle it in the way that I do now when I get picked on by people. I handle it now, I'm just kind of like, it happens, it's your opinion, it doesn't really matter to me. There are certain things that do stick with me, but I'm working on it to where those don't stick with me anymore. But when I was a kid, oftentimes what I would do is I would take that anger and that frustration, I wouldn't let it out any other way, and I'm not going to say I became a bully. I don't think I was a bully. I don't think I bullied someone specifically. That's a lie. I took it out on a specific person because of the people that I was around, that I considered friends who weren't really my friends. They were basically like, oh, we don't like this one person, so you shouldn't like this one person. And I let that decide that I didn't like that person. And that's not how I should have done it. And I know that, and I knew that back then, but back then I was just like, I'm finally accepted, I can't screw this up, because no one tells you these things when you're in school. No one tells you that I mean, we tell you this all the time, people that are influencers on YouTube and stuff like that, that it does get better. And things that you endure during high school and middle school and elementary school, those are just things that people are dealing with different ways. It doesn't make it any easier to deal with. So I think if you see someone that was vulnerable that way, and that even from all of that stuff and that negativity, and me not dealing with it super great, I still became this really positive person, because that's the only way there is to be, really. Because if you go through life expecting negativity, that's what's going to happen. And I hate to say it like that, but that's legitimately what will happen. So what I always suggest for people to do, is if they are feeling like they have no one to talk to, if you have a sibling, talk to them. You know, my brother and I didn't always get along as well as we do now. But there was a point when I was getting bullied really badly, and he let me sit in his room, and he just let me sit there, and we just sat in comfortable silence, and he didn't talk, he didn't try to get me to open up and anything like that. And I think that's when I finally realized that even if I didn't have a really close friend to open up to, I did have a sibling, and whether or not he and I were friends, he would be there for me. And that's one thing that's always stuck with me. That's one thing that I've always loved about family, is that if you are close enough to your family, to an extent, they will be there for you, as much as they can be. And I know my extended family, we're not super, super close like we used to be, because we used to take trips up there all the time to Virginia. But I do know that there are some people in that family that would burn the ground getting here quickly to help me out. And if I needed something, that would stop what they were doing to come and help us if we needed anything and stuff like that. So, and that's really good to have. But the most important thing that I want to make sure you guys took away is that even the most positive people, and I know that this is a cliche quote and stuff like that, because you see it everywhere, even the people that are the most positive in the world have gone through the ringer. You know, for us to get to our best selves, we get broken. I most certainly got broken several times. And it's always been because I thought that I got through everything and I was ready to move on, and then a new challenge came up to where I was just like, I wasn't prepared for this. I don't know what to do. But in the end, you know, you surround yourself with the people that you love, that love you, and they will be there for you. Regardless of distance, regardless of all this, they'll be there for you. Case in point, Sandra and I haven't seen each other in nearly a year now. But the day that she moved away, because we talked so often, it felt like she never left. It felt like we were never apart. And it still feels that way. And, you know, the same thing with my brother is he and I talk nearly every single day. And it still feels like he's right here with me. And that's the best part about a friendship. And my friend Jasmine, you know, she and I talk every single day. Well, not every single day, but when we do talk, it feels like we saw each other like 10 minutes ago. What she'll do is she'll call me. We don't talk every day because, let's be honest, we both still in school. She's going, I'm really proud of her. She's going for her master's. And so like we know that we're both busy. We know that we both have school stuff to do. We know all of that. So when we get a chance to talk on the phone, we talk for almost an hour each time, which is really cool. I really enjoy it. And so, yeah, but surround yourself with people that you care for deeply. And just know that whatever you're going through, whatever it is that is trying to break you, it's not going to be permanent. It's really not. What it's doing is it's letting you see how much you can stand, and then it's showing you kind of when you need to ask for help, when you need to reach out to somebody, which unfortunately, because we're people, a lot of times we do wait for the last, like the worst possible moment to reach out, not for other people but for ourselves. So for example, I would self-harm, and it finally got to a point where I was like, I need to stop this. And as opposed to reaching out before it started, I reached out after the fact, and stuff like that. So but just know, whatever you're going through, it'll get better. The world isn't here to smack you down as much as everybody thinks it is. The obstacles that get put in our way are just here to show us where we can be. And I understand that the journey is very, very hard. I do understand. Trust me, I get it. We do have a Penny for Your Thoughts campaign page on Twitter now. So our inbox is always open. We have 3 people running it in 3 different time zones. So someone will be there to talk to you. If we don't respond right away, it's not because we're ignoring you. All three of us have blogs. All 3 of us have jobs, and all 3 of us, we just, sometimes we're busy, and it's not because we don't want to help you, but it is because we don't have a whole bunch of people like we should have to do that certain thing. But what I can tell you is that when you need someone to listen, we'll be there for you. Even if it's just to vent, even if it's just to send a long wall of text to vent all of your anger, all of your frustrations, nothing will get shared outside of our inboxes. Nothing will get shared to anybody else unless you ask us to. And people that know, that have used the angel service, know that I am super sincere when I talk to you guys. When I was in the angels, I try my best to be so sincere, and I approach every kind of situation with views from both sides. I don't like being one-sided. I hate that. The other 2 wonderful ladies do the same thing. We're almost identical in the people that we are. And so, just so you guys know, that inbox is always open for you guys to ask questions, to vent, to just be heard. We'll listen. And that's really all I want. I just wanted to explain why this campaign is so important to me. It's not just because, oh, hey, let's be positive. That's always a deeper meaning for me. It's always been a deeper meaning for me, because positivity is what got me through a lot of stuff. Positivity and surrounding myself by friends that love me and that I love them has helped me through a tremendous amount of stuff. A lot of you guys know that at the beginning of February, it's always a really hard time because my grandmother passed away 10 years ago, the beginning of February. And so I've met people on Twitter who checked on me, and when I didn't respond to a lot of stuff on the Penny for Your Thoughts campaign page, I had them step in. We have 3 managers, I'm one of them, for the Penny for Your Thoughts campaign. And so I had one of them. She was so sweet. She stepped in and she was just like, she's fine. I talked to her. She's okay. She's just going through it. She needs to kind of like be by herself right now. And it was super sweet, super kind. And then they both just made sure I was okay, and they're great. I love them so much. They quickly became like family to me, even though, you know, the whole distance things, that doesn't matter. We talk nearly every day. So anyways, that was basically it. This wasn't supposed to be a super long video, but it is, as always. I mean, did you expect anything less from me? Anyways, so if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the little bell icon if you want to see more of my videos. I promise I'm not usually sick. I get sick maybe once badly every couple of years. Little colds here and there. But it's never to the point that it was this weekend, and it was bad. Anyways, if you want to see more of my videos, I'm going to put a link right here for the end card for my channel right here, and on my face right here, and right here, right here, and right here. There will be other videos. I'm going to link to the very first Penny for Your Thoughts campaign video, and then the other one will be one that YouTube picks out for you guys. So, if you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. And I love you guys so, so much. Stay cheesy, my friends. Bye.